So, if you guys don't know me, I'm a guy who really likes to go on Google Maps. And I decided to kind of look at different resorts and different places around my area to see if there's any place I could stay maybe at some point, just for fun, just sort of to see like maybe during Thanksgiving or during like sometime during some sort of holiday or when I'm off school, I could, just go to some sort of like beach resort or something like that. Anyways, so I decided to go and look around and try to see, okay, what is one of the best places? And I was just kind of looking through hotels and I finally found this one place. And at first it just sort of looked like a normal resort. And the funny thing is, I actually passed by this resort only a couple of days ago. I went to the beach essentially and then I decided to walk back and I happened to be along the way of this resort. So I kind of passed by it. I was like, "Oh, this looks like a pretty cool. This looks like a pretty cool resort. I don't know. It's right next to the water and stuff like that." And so I decided to go back home and check to see. All right, well, what is this about? What is this place? So I just decided to look at the reviews because I noticed that maybe it was a little bit lower than usual. I mean, 3.5 isn't too bad, but 3.5 is definitely a little bit lower than you would want on Google Maps. So I decided to kind of check the reviews. And this is kind of where it gets interesting. You haven't seen by some of this, the owner responds to almost every single review, almost every single one, whether they're positive, negative, whatever. But the ones that are most interesting are the lowest ratings because there's actually a lot of them, and a lot of them are very recent. A lot of the one-star ratings are extremely recent. All of the highest ratings are generally a pretty long time ago, but all the 1 out of 5 ratings are generally around a month or two ago that I usually see. So I decided to have a little bit of fun and kind of check on some of these reviews, and I decided to look at them, and they are definitely interesting, that's for sure. So, for example, Lexi Braun, I guess, she about a month ago wrote a pretty negative review, and she said is by far the worst hotel experience, stuff like that. I mean, probably as a hotel owner, you'd be pretty upset, but generally, I wouldn't say anything too crazy, right? But this is definitely a little bit weird. So yeah, she writes this whole review, and most people they'll say, most hotels, like most normal hotels, they'll usually say something like, they'll usually be like, "Oh, we're so sorry that you had a bad experience," or whatever. We always try to, have our customers feel welcome and things like that, right? This owner is a little bit different. So after this review was written, a response from the owner occurred after, well, probably very soon. And the owner said, guest arrived in a very bad mood, had probably a very big argument with her partner, took it out on the hotel, sorry, deep breath. And it just keeps getting better. I mean, this is just one of the reviews. It's so great. Let's see. Okay. So it seems like the owner has this constant obsession with commenting about people's wives. I don't know why. So here's another example. This is 3 months ago. This person says, this place is a total joke. We pulled in around 5 p.m. for a one-night stay. We thought it was closed. Huge parking lot. Weeds everywhere. Pretty negative review. And they said at the end, it's a scam. Stay away from this place. This place is creepy. And, actually, some of these reviews could be very valid because when I went there, it did look a little bit old and a little bit run down, and there was something a little bit off because the gates were like closed, but it was totally open and everything like that. Like people were booking rooms and stuff. It was kind of weird. But anyways, the owner says this guest was so happy when we showed him the room. He had a problem with his wife, maybe some arguments, etc. We have a policy with Expedia about booking we have to maintain, sorry. You also kind of notice that he doesn't have the best spelling in a lot of this. Like, for example, like he spelled probably an argument wrong. Very interesting. I don't know what is going on with that, but pretty funny. So yeah, he has something with them talking about wives or something like that. But anyways, He usually likes to respond to these people like very directly, like he's expecting a response. Like, staff was friendly upon arrival. The room was fine, nothing special but clean. And outside garbages were overflowing. And so basically, apparently the credit card was fraudulently used or something like that. Anyways, and actually she responded after the hotel responded. So let's read the hotel response first. The hotel said, "You never complained, never asked for room service since COVID. We don't go to rooms without guests asking us." Like, it's kind of weird. It's a little bit weird how he's almost expecting a response, like almost feels like a response. And then she says, added a review after the hotel responded, "I can't believe that all the concerns that I had that my mention of towels you decided to respond to." I mean, yeah, she had a bunch of complaints, but only responded to one. Kind of weird. Anyways. Oh, now this is probably one of the best ones. Okay, this is 100% the best one. Billion percent. Okay, so Sherry Ellis says, and this isn't even that long of a review. I mean, there is, some stuff here, but it's not like, compared to the other ones, it's not too long a review. Dirty rooms, carpet was filthy, no security lighting in parking lot, no ice machines were working, restaurant had dirty, dish-filled tables, no food, front lobby looks like a convenience store in the worst part of town. The outrageous price of the room, condition of this facility, they prey on the travelers who were desperate to find lodging. Now, I will admit, some of these reviews probably are a little bit over the top, and, I mean, to be fair, I haven't been to the hotel or anything like that, but they might be a little bit over the top. But that's just how reviews are, right? I mean, there's plenty of places that get negative reviews, but the owners don't respond in this kind of way. So this is 100% one of the best ones. Okay, this is kind of a crazy roast, I'm not even gonna lie. Sherry Ellis, you poor thing. You stayed, never complained. You were just one of those people that unless you get a discount or some money back, you trash the facility. Our hotel is super clean. It's our main priority. Spells priority wrong. You are just a negative person. Sorry, life is beautiful. That is crazy. That is crazy. This is actually interesting. I didn't read this part. I also have photos and videos of the whole stay that will be posted on TikTok and YouTube shortly. So I guess someone else is making a YouTube video on this. I'm not the only one. Good to know. Anyways, the owner says, "You are just a negative person. You don't belong to such a beautiful nature place. Please go somewhere else." Spell somewhere wrong. This is just too amazing. I feel like I gotta stay here just to meet the owner, because I feel like this dude is kind of a legend. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, not in a legend in terms of, I mean, he probably is an asshole, but it is really, really funny. Oh my god. It just, if you guys want to see any of the reviews yourself that just honestly keep getting better. I've only read probably about 30 to 40% of these. They just keep getting better and better. But as you can tell, there's a lot of very bad reviews, and I just thought it was a very interesting video that I could make. You know what? If this video somehow gets, let's just say, this video gets 100 likes, I will actually stay at this resort and make a whole video on it. But anyways, that's basically been it. Very interesting video to make. If you guys like these kind of videos, let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.